Welcome to Star Watch Now, your front row seat to all the hottest gossip, drama, and breaking news from the world of entertainment. If it's trending, shocking, or star-studded, we're covering it. Stay tuned. You won't want to miss what's coming next.
More than 50,000 pre-sale tickets, 25.4 million yuan in revenue before the engines even started. At first, many people thought the numbers had to be exaggerated. After all, this was China GT, a respected racing series, but still considered a niche sport compared with mainstream entertainment in China. Yet, within days, the entire internet was talking about one thing. How did Wang Yibo suddenly bring this level of attention to Chinese motorsport? For years, racing fans quietly supported the sport without expecting massive public recognition. Most ordinary viewers could not even tell the difference between GT categories, and domestic racing rarely became headline news outside specialist circles. But everything changed the moment Wang Yibo officially confirmed his participation. Suddenly, practice clips were spreading across social media at astonishing speed. Ticket sales surged beyond expectations. New grandstand sections had to be opened, and even people who had never watched a race before started searching for information about China GT. What makes this story so fascinating is that it is not only about celebrity popularity, it is about the collision between two completely different worlds. On one side stood traditional motorsport culture, built on professionalism, technical skill, and years of dedication from loyal fans. On the other side came the enormous energy of modern fandom culture, capable of turning almost anything into a nationwide discussion overnight. At first, many people questioned whether fans would truly support a professional racing event in real life. Online attention is one thing, but traveling to a circuit, buying expensive tickets, and spending an entire weekend watching motorsport is completely different. That was why the final numbers shocked so many observers. More than 50,000 pre-sale tickets became impossible to ignore. Even people outside the entertainment industry began discussing whether this could become a turning point for Chinese motorsport. The most interesting part is that the atmosphere surrounding China GT changed almost overnight. Normally, racing discussions remained inside specialist communities, but this time, social media exploded with race analysis, track videos, training footage, and conversations about strategy and performance. Some longtime racing fans initially worried that the event would turn into a giant fan gathering instead of a serious sporting competition. Those concerns were understandable because motorsport supporters have spent years protecting the identity of the sport they love. However, something unexpected also happened. Many new viewers who first arrived because of Wang Yibo slowly became curious about racing itself. They started learning about GT cars, drivers, pit strategy, tire management, and the culture surrounding professional motorsport. Suddenly, a completely new audience was entering a space that had previously struggled to attract mainstream attention. That may be Wang Yibo's biggest impact on China GT. He did not simply bring attention for one weekend. He opened a door that had remained closed to many ordinary viewers for years. Some people came because they admired him as an entertainer. But once they entered the world of racing, they discovered an entirely different kind of excitement. This is where the story becomes much bigger than fandom alone. In modern entertainment culture, attention has enormous commercial value. The moment China GT started trending online, brands immediately noticed the opportunity. Sponsors began reassessing the business potential of domestic motorsport. Media platforms gave the event stronger visibility. Racing suddenly looked less like a small niche activity and more like a rapidly growing entertainment product with long-term possibilities. That shift matters enormously because motorsport is one of the most expensive sports in the world. Teams require sponsorship, technology, logistics, engineering, and massive operational support. Without public attention, growth becomes difficult. What Wang Yibo achieved was bringing millions of eyes towards an industry that had spent years searching for broader recognition. At the same time, the emotional side of this story is equally powerful. Fans did not simply feel proud because ticket sales were strong. Many felt they were witnessing something historic. There was a growing sense online that people were watching the beginning of a new era for Chinese racing culture. Every new number added to that emotional momentum. 50,000 tickets became more than statistics. They became proof that the sport could break beyond its traditional boundaries. Another reason the story spread so rapidly is because it created natural conflict and debate. Some critics argued that celebrity influence should not dominate professional sport. Others believed this kind of exposure was exactly what motorsport needed. That tension made the conversation even more viral because people were not simply watching events unfold. They were choosing sides emotionally. And in the middle of all this stood Wang Yibo himself, balancing two very different identities. To entertainment audiences, he remained one of the most recognizable young stars in China. To racing communities, he became a symbol of how celebrity influence could reshape public interest in motorsport. Whether people supported or criticized the phenomenon, everyone was talking about it. There is also something psychologically powerful about seeing a celebrity enter a demanding environment like racing. Motorsport is not an easy hobby designed purely for publicity. It requires discipline, focus, preparation, and genuine commitment. Audiences today are increasingly drawn towards public figures who challenge themselves outside traditional entertainment spaces. Watching someone step into a competitive racing environment creates uncertainty, and uncertainty keeps viewers emotionally invested. The visuals surrounding the event also played a major role in its explosive popularity. Grandstands filled with excited spectators, dramatic race footage, engines roaring across the track, fans waving banners, celebrities in professional racing suits, and social media clips spreading across every platform created the feeling that something unusually important was happening. Viewers felt as though they were witnessing a cultural moment in real time. Perhaps the smartest part of this entire narrative is that it constantly grows larger the deeper people look into it. At first, it appears to be a simple story about a celebrity entering a race. Then, it becomes a discussion about fandom power. Then it evolves into a conversation about sports commercialization, business investment, and the future of Chinese motorsport itself. Every layer adds more emotional weight to the story. For longtime racing supporters, this moment feels both exciting and uncertain. On one hand, the sport is finally receiving the national visibility many fans always hoped for. On the other hand, rapid popularity inevitably changes the atmosphere surrounding any niche community. But regardless of differing opinions, one reality has become impossible to deny. China GT is now part of mainstream conversation in a way few people imagined possible only a short time ago. The biggest question now is what happens next. Temporary excitement can create headlines, but long-term growth requires much more. The race experience itself must remain strong enough to convince new audiences to return. Broadcast quality, event organization, and the emotional thrill of live motorsport will determine whether these first-time viewers become genuine long-term supporters. Still, even if only a portion of these newcomers stay connected to racing, the impact could already be enormous. New audiences bring fresh energy, commercial opportunities, and cultural relevance. For younger generations especially, motorsport may no longer feel distant or inaccessible. Instead, it suddenly feels exciting, modern, and emotionally connected to mainstream youth culture. One comment from a veteran racing fan captured this entire situation perfectly. He said he did not care why people attended their first race. What mattered was whether they wanted to watch a second one afterwards. That simple idea may define the future of China GT more than any ticket record ever could. Because beyond the celebrity headlines and online debates, the real story is about connection. It is about how one person's passion introduced millions of people to a completely different world. And whether this moment becomes a temporary wave or the start of something much bigger, Wang Yibo has already changed the conversation around Chinese motorsport forever. Thank you for spending time with us today on Star Watch Now. If you enjoyed this story and want more deep discussions about Chinese entertainment, celebrity influence, and the hidden stories shaping popular culture, make sure to subscribe to the channel and join our growing community. We truly appreciate every comment, every discussion, and every perspective you share with us. Let us know your thoughts below. Do you believe celebrity influence can create long-term value for professional sports, or is this simply a temporary cultural moment? Thank you again for watching, and we will see you very soon in the next story on Star Watch Now.